Hey everybody, welcome back to Better Computer. My name is Matt, and almost every single video that I make for this channel, I edit in Final Cut Pro. I've been using Final Cut Pro to edit video in my life for probably more than 20 years, which is a big number. But I used it growing up on a Mac. I used it in college when I went to school for television production, which is maybe not a thing you would have expected from me, but is what I did. And yeah, it's what I still use today for these YouTube videos, and I just love Final Cut Pro. And so I bought Final Cut Pro many years ago with a student discount, so I paid like $100 for it, and like a decade later, I'm still using the app, which is awesome from a value perspective. They continue to update it. It was updated for Apple Silicon. It's super performant. All of my plugins that I use for like showing text and graphs and stuff on screen are all purchased for Final Cut. So all of my workflows are built around Final Cut, and I don't plan on changing that anytime soon because it just works. There's no pain, so why should I change? But DaVinci Resolve is an incredible video editor, a professional quality video editor that I also really enjoy. Like if Final Cut went away today and I had to switch to something else, it would 100% be DaVinci Resolve. And I love DaVinci Resolve for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's multi-platform, so if you're on Windows or Mac or iPad now, you can get it on any of those platforms, which is awesome. And it's just super nice. It's a really great video editor. And like, honestly, if you're starting out today and you don't have like all the history and muscle memory and workflows built up around Final Cut like I do, should you go with Final Cut or DaVinci? I would honestly suggest most people look at DaVinci. And one big thing that's really great about it is that it's totally free to get started. You can download DaVinci Resolve completely for free. You have to give them your email address for some stupid reason, but other than that, you can get the app completely for free, and you can edit professional quality video. Like, you could legitimately create a Hollywood feature film in the free version of DaVinci Resolve. They do have a paid version you can get that's, I think, $300, and you can just pay for that, and it's not a subscription or anything. You get a certain amount of updates after that. But the fact that there is this completely free pro-level video editor that anyone can download on whatever computing platform they have, pretty much, I think that's really awesome, and I think that's really great for just letting people be creative and letting people create things in the world generally. So, what am I doing in this video? I'm not a DaVinci Resolve user, but I wanted to show you a trick to get more value out of the iPad app. So they recently released an iPad version of DaVinci Resolve, which got me super excited because I would love to be able to work on my iPad in some cases, because right now, Final Cut is only on the Mac, and so I have to do all my work on the Mac. And it's one of the reasons that my workflow shifted from the iPad primarily to the Mac primarily about a year and a half ago. Anyway, the important thing is DaVinci Resolve is here for the iPad. You can download it for free today and try it out and see how it works. And it's pretty cool, but it only has 2 of like the 6 tabs that the main app has. So the 2 tabs in the interface that it does have are the cut page and the color page. And honestly, the cut page kind of sucks for me. I know there's people who use it and enjoy it, but for me, it doesn't solve my needs at all. So I don't really care about that. And then the color page, fine. But like, what I really want is the editing page. I want the editing interface that makes DaVinci so cool, so nice to use. And it's not there. So the app wasn't that interesting to me. But there is a way. I was watching a video that I'll link down below. Sarah Dietschy was talking about this, and she saw some people discover that you can actually make entire other parts of the app, the entire desktop app, show up in the iPad, and it's actually usable. And I tested some of this out already, and it's shockingly usable. Like, some of it just totally works. It's probably not to the level of quality and that they want, and there's probably bugs that you'll run into because it probably hasn't been fully tested, but it looks like the whole app is there and you can access it. So I'll show you how to access those parts of the app, and we'll play around with it a little bit. But yeah, really, really interesting way to expand the functionality in a way that I don't think they really intended, and they might patch out. So hopefully you're watching this video soon after it published, because they may try to block this from happening in the future. But ideally, they'll just make these pages available and anyone can use them. So that long-winded intro out of the way, let's jump into the screen share on the iPad. Okay, so if you skip to this part, I don't blame you. It's totally fine. But basically, I'm in DaVinci Resolve on the iPad, and I'm on the cut page. I've just got a clip that I shot recently for another video on my Canon EOS R6. So this is 4K footage, really high-quality video, and it plays back totally fine. I can scrub through the video nicely, and I can edit it. So kudos to DaVinci and kudos to the iPad hardware for being able to do it really nicely. But you can see on here at the bottom, we have the cut page and the color page, and those work fine, but I want more. So here's what we do. Command Option K on the keyboard. Oops, I should do it before that comes up. then that brings up this window, which is, we're in a full-on like multi-window interface here, but we've got all the keyboard shortcuts here. I don't know if there's a way to do this just from the normal interface. You have to actually have a keyboard hooked up. I couldn't find a way to just tap through the UI to get here. I don't think they really want you going here. But there's all the keyboard shortcuts here. And so what you want to do is search for show page, right? So under workspace, there's a section called show page. And if you expand this, you can see all the pages that are in the app, right? So none of them have shortcuts except for deliver, which I've actually already set up. So let me just get rid of that. So when you come here the first time, you actually won't have any of these have anything. So let's go ahead and set up shortcuts. So for deliver, you kind of saw me already do it. I'm going to do Shift 6. And for edit, let's go down here to edit, and we'll do Shift 5, right? So you can do the other ones, but those are the only two that I'm interested in right now. So let me save this. If you haven't done this before, it'll ask you to create a name for the keyboard customization option you want. By default, it's DaVinci Resolve or these other ones, but you can set a custom one here. So let's go ahead and close it. And now it hasn't changed anything down here, but if I hit Shift 5, now we have the edit page. And this is the editor. This is it, and I can play it back, and I can go ahead and let's see. Let's bring up the how do I actually don't use Resolve enough to know exactly how to do this. Command B. Yeah, there we go. So I was able to cut that, able to do everything here. I can go into the inspector and bring up all the inspector things that you'd expect and use them like totally nicely and everything. Like I had put a filter on here previously, or a video effect, I should say. And so that's all here. You can edit it however you'd like. Like it's all here and it all works. Like I haven't been able to get the app to crash. Everything kind of works as expected. It's a little cramped here on the iPad screen, and unfortunately, it doesn't handle external displays with Stage Manager very well, so it looks really blown up on a large 27-inch screen if you use Stage Manager. But anyway, it's a little compressed, but it is all here and is all accessible, which is awesome. And then what's really cool is that normally in the app, if you wanted to export, right, I'm on the cut page, they have a single export button, and you just have kind of these minimal options here for exporting. Maybe you have something more specific you want to do, right? So let's get out of here. And now I want to hit that Shift 6 for the deliver page. And so if you're familiar with DaVinci Resolve, deliver is where you decide how you're going to like export it with all these nitty-gritty details that you can do here. And so let's go ahead and we're going to do a custom export. We're going to call it testing things out on video. You can browse to anywhere in your file manager for where you want to save it. Let's go ahead and just save it on my iPad. And we'll just do there, but you could save it to iCloud Drive or whatever you'd like. All the configuration options are here, so you can get it exactly in tune with what you want, with like the sort of video that you want. That's all here. Add it to the render queue. You can see I did one earlier today, so let me just get rid of that one. But we can go ahead and hit render all. And now it's rendering out this video with the exact settings that I wanted. And this is awesome. This is really great that you can do this in the app. So yeah. Again, the way you get to it is Command Option K is the keyboard shortcut, which may or may not work here. Let me get out of, it may not be working while I do an export. So let me just cancel the job. You have to trust me that works. But Command Option K brings this up, and you want to search for show page. And there's this section, and any pages you want to show up. Like I don't use Farlight, but let's do Shift 4 to make that show up. Save, close. Shift 4, there's Farlight, and then I can do whatever I want to do with audio. So it's all here. As far as I can tell, it's all functional. There's probably going to be issues you run into, but for the time being, you can get the full DaVinci Resolve application to run on the iPad, and that's pretty awesome. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching.